Sh0e0nHead sent inappropriate messages to someone in text messages, and that is not okay. So, Sh0e0nHead is out here showing her no-nos, and that is not okay. That is disgusting and disturbing that people are doing this in 2024. You should never ever send these type of things anywhere because it is permanently online forever. And Sh0e0nHead knows this. Like, what's wrong with you? Why would you ever decide to do this type of bad thing when you're a public figure? You're supposed to be a role model for the people. Why would you do this type of thing? Sh0e0nHead. And it is just so wrong to do this type of stuff. Now it's everywhere on the internet, on Google, Bing, Reddit, Twitter, and everywhere. All because you couldn't show the self-control. And that's just so unfortunate that someone would do this in 2024. And, it affects everyone around you. It affects your family. It affects your friends. But yet you still decide to put these horrible, terrible things out there. Look, the moment you send it, it's no longer in your control. So you lose all control over that media. And now someone else is going to start sending it everywhere else. All because of your lack of responsibility to just not ever send these things. It is so unfortunate that someone would do this in the 21st century with all the knowledge they have of history and stuff like that, but people still decide to do these disturbing stuff. It is just so wrong to do this. And all you have to do is not click send. That's all it takes. And you would be fine. It doesn't matter how popular you are. It doesn't matter how much of a reputation you have. If you do this thing, it is permanently going to have a stain on your reputation forever. And it's just so unfortunate that people like Sh0e0nHead decide to do these type of things. People need to have self-control and stop the bad things that they are doing. It is so unfortunate. It is so wrong to do this. And it is not something that you can remove ever. And that's why I say to never do these type of things. Never ever do it. But instead, people continue to do the wrong choice. And it's just so unfortunate. I can't even watch Sh0e0nHead anymore. Because I know that's all a facade now. Because that's not how she really acts in real life in her videos. It's just very unfortunate that someone would send these type of messages. And this is far worse than Dr. Disrespect. It's just so unfortunate. If people are canceling Dr. Disrespect and people will just turn a blind eye to the same scenario. Want to know why? Because inconsistency. And it's just very unfortunate that people, are saying this stuff to people who don't deserve it. But all I'm saying is people should just stop sending these type of things on the internet anywhere, and the world will be a better place. Like, it's just so unfortunate Sh0e0nHead did this type of thing, and it's just really unfortunate. Public figures really need to be careful. They really need to think about their actions, and they need to stop doing these type of things because it's permanent a stain on your career forever, and it will never go away. It will be seen forever in the future. And it's just so unfortunate that Sh0e0nHead, I thought she was different, but it's just so unfortunate. There's people like Pokemon who never do these type of things, and that's the good path. You should not be doing these type of things ever, and you'll be perfectly fine. You gotta have some self-respect. You gotta not do these type of things. It's just really unfortunate that Sh0e0nHead did this type of thing. It's just really unfortunate. It's just really, really disappointing that Sh0e0nHead does this type of stuff. It's really wrong to do this type of stuff. Like, some of our fans going to be in the comments saying, well, this isn't real. Well, it is. You can research it. And, there's only facts here. Like, the inconsistent stances on the things Sh0e0nHead says in her videos, that's a nothing burger, really. But this type of stuff is that's a something burger, and it just never really goes away. It's really unfortunate that anyone would ever decide to do this thing in the right mind and go, this is okay, I should be doing this type of thing. Like, please, you need to educate yourselves. You need to say, I will not do these type of things. You have self control. Even not even using the internet for these type of things would solve the issue, but just so people have no restraint and they just do these things without thinking about the consequences. It's just really unfortunate that is the way many people decide to go on their way in lives, and it's not going to be a good result. It's just so unfortunate that Sh0e0nHead is one of the people who partook in these type of things. It's just really unfortunate. Man, you do not really want to be doing anything like Kim Kardashian, like Sh0e0nHead have been sending. It's just very, very bad for you. It's just going to tank your reputation, ruin your family relationships, ruin your friendships, and it all because you can't control yourself. Doing this type of stuff is not worth any money, any attention. Doing it as a favor for any relationship, you should never do it ever. Reject any of it. Like, people really need to learn how to run the good path, and their life will be so much better. But instead, people like Sh0e0nHead just doing the wrong thing. It's just wrong to do this type of stuff. It's permanently a stain. Any country, any place, you should never do this type of stuff. Like, the internet should be a benefit would be educating yourself, but instead people have just turned it to this, using it for bad stuff. And it's just unfortunate some people are just doing this stuff. Like, it's permanently on in the internet when you do this type of stuff. Like, all your descendants could see it, all your family could see it, all your friends could see it. And that's the dangers of doing this type of stuff. And that's why you should never do it. But instead, people never think about this. They just think in the moment and then destroy their reputations for no reason. It's just so unfortunate. And that's not what you should be doing. A lot of people need to practice internet safety measures because a lot of people just put things they shouldn't be putting out there on the internet without any thinking into it. It's just very unfortunate because there's obvious things that you should say, this should not be something I'm putting on the internet for other people to see. But many people don't have this type of, forethought, and it's just unfortunate because it's just simple things that you should say, hey, I need to be responsible here. I need to be careful here. And so much things will be better in the world. It's just really unfortunate, really disappointing. Sh0e0nHead does this type of stuff. It's just really unfortunate. Hopefully, she got better from doing this type of stuff. But just wow, that's disturbing. That's disgusting. It's just so unfortunate that when someone you've watched turns to this type of stuff or did it before, it's just very, very disappointing, very unfortunate, and just really, really like something you don't want to see. And that is why I'm making this video, to educate people on how you should not be doing this type of stuff. You should be very careful on the internet, and the world will be such a brighter place. And it's just really unfortunate when someone does this type of stuff. Santa Claus didn't even enter the chimney yet, and people are doing this type of stuff. Lots of situations where you can see it's clearly a bad thing. The Call Me Carson situation, the many other situations where it's just horrible. You should never do it. Never send these type of images out there. Ever do it. Never do it, and you'll be fine. And many people just need to learn to have good self control, not do this type of stuff. Armoured Skeptic and Sh0e0nHead broke up, and this could have been many of the reasons. Like these things permanently out there. Draining the relationship and making things worse for no reason. And that's one of the many reasons why you should never do it. There's no positives to this. There's only negatives, and that's why you should stay away from things that only have negatives. It's very unfortunate that people do this type of stuff, and you'll be totally fine. So, Sh0e0nHead, you should never ever do these type of things, and you should, take responsibility and say this is a bad thing, and be the true role model that a public figure should be, and The world would be so much better off when, a lot of people say that this thing is bad, you shouldn't be doing this type of thing. And, there's just a lot of things that have to be said about how this is wrong and why it should be stopped. And the world would just be so much more educated and people will be so much more better as a person.